Hey guys, it's Jason with Kentucky Sustainable Living. I wanted to do a real quick little intro to the video you're about to see. We did a tree planting guild class. We did it yesterday. Today's Sunday night. I hope everybody had a good Mother's Day and happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. But we did a tree plant guild class. Saturday at my place, we planted some fruit trees, berry bushes, all the accompanying stuff with it. It'll explain a lot of the stuff in the video. But Mike with Food Plant Nursery came down from Indiana, brought all our plants to us, and provided those. I bought them from him. But he came down, and then Jake and Shelly. Jake from Dog Creek Farms came down, and then Shelly with Two Old Crows Homestead. And I want to thank Shelly. She shot most of the footage that you got. I was busy on the tractor, that or getting equipment and stuff like that ready, moving hoses, all that kind of junk. It's crazy the stuff that you do just to get ready for even a small little event. But we got everything put in, and here's the video that's going to come up. But I want to thank all those people for coming out. A bunch of our members came out, learned some stuff. Bruce DeVries with DeVries Leather came up. He's a member of the group, and he came up and he actually gave an impromptu biochar class for us, about a 30-minute class just to cover a few things. I've got a video of it that will be coming out shortly, but a big thanks to Bruce on doing that for us. Also, don't forget, we got our festival coming up October 28th and 29th. October 27th, we've got 2 paid classes that will be going on. Chuck Peoples from Homestead Medical is teaching a homestead medicine class. That's an 8-hour class that is going to deal with wound care, stuff like that. We've got a description of it on our website, KentuckySustainableLiving.com. Also, Eric Johnson, Porterhouse and Teal, he's going to be teaching a permaculture guild class. Kind of what we taught and did a little bit on, but it's going to be pretty much a full day class. The prices and everything to sign up on that are on our website. There are limited spots to this, so make sure you get your seat and your ticket to come to this. That's about all for right now. Enjoy the video, like and subscribe, and share it out. Thanks.
I'm trying to draw in viewers. That's how you get them. That's gonna draw them.
All right, you're ready to go.
Hey guys, we're gonna do a 3 fruit tree guild today. So we'll try to go through kind of quick here in the shop before we get out in the field there and get these trees going. But we'll start out with we'll just draw what we're gonna do here. So we've got a fruit tree, and then this could be the possible drip line as it grows. Of course, it'll be small in the beginning. So what we're looking for is I'm going to start with the top of this handout. So grass suppression, you got your insect, bird plant attracting your pollinators. You got your mulching plants and nitrogen fixers or accumulators, and your nutrient accumulators. So let's go through here and see I'm going to take one of these. This is going to be one we're going to do. So this is going to be a pear tree, let's say, and we're going to put comfrey out. And I brought, let's say you put 3 comfrey out. There's a length. In the past, I put them real close to the trunk. And when you try to propagate them, it don't work out because you're digging up roots, of your tree. So if you use about a half a shovel handle or maybe a full shovel handle, that would work good. Usually I end up putting one close, and I don't really propagate it. I just use it for chop and drop for a mulch. So out here, you're kind of out of danger of digging up your roots. So we're going to be putting comfrey there. Then we'll put a food, I call them edibles. We can put a food plant in here, like this one's calling for a blueberry. So we'll put a blueberry. Really need to look at your individual plants because if some of them gets bigger than the others, you don't want it getting too much into the trunk here. But so for this sake, we'll try to figure out where the drip line is. It's probably a shovel handle, so a little more apart. And another one I like to use. I hear a lot of people using strawberries. I've got a ground cover raspberry that's only grows 6 inches tall, and its roots are like.
I got some from you, and they're growing like crazy.
Good, yeah. So on this particular one, we're putting in putting 2 of those in. I run them kind of close. I probably could use different colors, I guess, but you can put them really anywhere you want it. Just kind of keep away from that comfrey because that comfrey's gonna get. And then when you're ready, these start growing good. You can still chop those just like strawberries. It's gonna have runners. You should be able to keep propagating. Everything here you can keep propagating. Also got an elderberry.
Do you need to do anything in the wintertime with those? Do they need to be, just let them go, just like everything
I
else?
just let them go.
Okay.
I guess we didn't talk about, we'll talk about the mulching thing. I kind of skipped over that. I got right to the plants. But so a pest repellent is a great plant to have. We're gonna put a elderberry bush is pretty big, so we're gonna run it out. I'm gonna get him some elderberry. We're gonna try to do a elderberry. You can keep chopping it. You can make kind of homemade pesticides out of your elderberry leaves, and there's just a good thing to run.
Do you mean like a recipe for that? I didn't know you could do that with elderberry.
Yeah, with your with the leaves, and you can do, and you also make all kinds of your fertilizers out of any kind of leaves or grasses.
Right.
I don't know. We can talk about that later too, I think. But what else we got there? A lot of people use. It's the wrong time of year. You can bring your marigolds in for your pollinators or your pests, and of course, everybody likes daffodils. So we'll put daffodils in your garlic. There's a lot of different things you can use, but this is just what we're going to use on this particular tree. What else we got on there? We got our ground cover.
Can you
Jerusalem
talk
Lord.
about the mulch for a minute? Like,
Yeah, let's
I
do
know
it.
I've found a lot of different, I'm getting to local mulch like I told you, but I found a lot of different information on whether you have to let it set or whether I can use it right away or like the tree, if it's fresh chips.
Yeah, I have some. I've dug into them. They've been composting. They're smoking a little bit, but I don't know, being a short, they're not very deep, how much they.
Okay.
I use what I can, but if you have some a couple years old, it's way better. So that would be a lot better. But sometimes I use straw. Watch your straw because a lot of times they'll spray at the end when they're harvesting wheat to get their moisture level right, and they'll spray Roundup on there to get everything. So really watch you can test it too and on other plants, or a lot of people say beans are very susceptible to, like your green beans or something like that. And you're right about the elderberry. It's the Jerusalem artichoke leaves are for the pests.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's what you make your spray out of.
I know I planted Jerusalem artichokes this year, and there's it seems like every bit of that plant can be used for something. Either fodder for your animals, you can eat the roots, all
Yeah.
of it. It's a
Yeah.
great plant.
He's gonna get some of them in his guild too. So
That
he'll
pile of wood
propagate.
chips is hot down there, but I think once we get it spread
That's
out.
what I think too. Once it's not so deep.
Oh,
so-
yeah, it was steaming this morning.
Yeah. So we didn't talk.
6 inches. I would think 6 inches or less,
Yeah.
you'd be pretty safe with.
Yeah. It can't compost much in a shallow depth.
Right.
I mean, just don't do it. So we didn't talk about that. Some more wheat suppression. Putting your cardboard down, man. I think you at least need two layers. I don't know if you can get. I'm sure there's some level you can do too much, but I think at least 2 layers.
Is there anything you could use instead of cardboard? Where I'm at, I'm on top of a hill and I have wind almost constantly, which is wonderful, except for the cardboard. Doesn't matter so far what I've put on it, like I could put big rocks on it, but that kinda,
Well, you're supposed to put wood chips on top of your cardboard.
yeah, I don't have wood chips. So I've been using hay or straw, cause that's what I've got,
Yeah.
but it just
Yeah.
goes away.
Yeah,
You could stake that down.
I've staked it down, it gets wet, rips through the stakes, goes away.
yeah.
I mean, the wind is really bad.
Just that landscape netting, put over top of it, stake your netting down.
Netting,
Yeah, you know, like when they put, it's landscape netting. and
yeah,
It stays, it doesn't rot away
No,
very
you don't right away
quickly.
at all, you gotta put
No.
back up. Better-
okay, I'll try that.
And it also keeps the soil down too, so.
Okay.
Erosion stuff when you stick it in
Right.
digging. 'Cause
Yeah.
Where he dug, it's flat, but if it was on a hill, it would be highly
Pretty,
eroded.
yeah, that'd be a good deal there.
I can try that. I've got, the bird netting, the plasticky, it's thinner than the landscape netting, but it might,
Yeah.
maybe a
that might
couple
work.
layers, but I'll try that. I didn't even think about something like
Yeah.
that.
So I just kind of wanted to lightly touch on your handouts. Shelley made a good handout from Perma Pastures. He gets in depth on a lot of different plants you can add or take out. A lot of plants, if you notice, when you start looking at them, they're the same. They do multiple things. Comfrey, it's a nutrient, pollinator, mulch.
Yeah.
It's breaking.
Comfrey is it's a dynamic accumulator, so it goes down deep and it pulls nutrients up from the bottom.
Yeah,
It's
big
great for
tappers.
nitrogen, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can feed it to your animals, and bees love it. It attracts bees. Like he said, use it for mulch. Like you can use it for everything.
Yeah,
and then
feed-
it's
feed your
medicinal
livestock.
too.
Yeah, cuts.
Yeah,
I never had any broken bones yet to try it on, but
yeah.
another one I really like yarrow. It tracks it. When it flowers, a lot of pollinators. I always see birds. It throws me off. But I guess birds do. I guess they eat some bugs maybe, but I always see that with the handout type stuff. But another thing yarrow does, it's got a large taproot on it, and you can propagate it just after it would bloom or in the wintertime. You can just chop it up and move
I
it.
haven't planted that one. I need to try
Yeah,
that one.
it's real pretty. It's they don't seem to like the smell of it for some reason. Some of the pests don't. We talked a little bit about marigolds. They're pretty pollinators. That's just a few. Some nitrogen fixers. We didn't really talk about that. I brought a mix. We're gonna put on there. I want to put buckwheat and crimson clover on his, especially since it's bare. And
So you'll put that down before you put the mulch down?
I think we'll put the, so I see a lot of people do, I haven't been doing this, but I think this might be a good way to go. They'll put the cardboard down and then like a compost topsoil, then sprinkle your seed on, then maybe put a light, wood chip. Or if you really want that to get established good, come in with straw like you would seed your grass. And then once it gets more established and stuff, you can start adding wood chips. But that would be however you want to do it. I tried trees or little guilds different ways with wood chips and straw, because sometimes wood chips are hard to come by.
Right.
But your straw is a good. Everybody uses it when they reseed their yards and stuff. So,
But
some other.
don't you run into the problem of like getting grass in your?
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna have grass.
Yeah.
If you're gonna use straw, right?
Yeah.
But it's an annual, it's
But-
not perennial.
But if you put enough clover and stuff down,
It'll choke it out.
I got pictures I'll show you guys on my phone that I got a crimson clover field that's pure crimson clover with not weed in it.
Where do you get seed for that?
I get it from like a grazing specialist in our area. I did bring some today you can look at, and
Okay.
but
Feeder meals, will have too.
yeah,
Really? Okay. I didn't know
and
where to
buckwheat, that's one of my favorites, but it's maybe other places, areas, it grows better. But a lot of pollinators, you walk out there, you just hear the bees going crazy.
Okay.
And it will, if you let it go to seed, it'll be back next year too. I've seen some things that I'm bringing like rotted logs out of my woods and put it in my gills for that fungi, you know, that it feels squishy after rain. That has to be a good thing to add. So, and then I bring in rocks too, start putting piles of rocks and stuff around them. So hopefully you can bring in a few snakes and things like that. Cause that's one of your slug eaters, you know, your toads and different things, so.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I think that's a good I don't hear much about it, but I think that's, somebody, I can't say who did it, but that was like, ding, that's what we're trying, right? That's what
Yeah,
we're
exactly.
trying to
And
bring
rocks would
predators
help
in.
with erosion if you're on a hill or a slope.
Yeah,
or
that would be
whatever.
good too. So there you go, that's
Yeah.
something too. If you bring rock piles in,
Yeah.
on the
we-
prevailing wind side, that would really help your cardboard from blowing away, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we've got, for my mom, we have a big flower garden that she can see through the window. We've got that's full of the big rocks holding everything down.
Yeah, kind of pile them up, make places for things to hide, so.
Yeah.
I don't have a whole lot else to say here other than just doing it, but I will talk about why do we want to grow a fruit tree? I mean, to feed ourselves, I guess, but I don't know. We looked up years ago, from Purdue University, they gave you a schedule of spraying your apple trees. Pre-bud, you know, bloom, when bloom falls off. Once the apple forms, every 7 to 10 days, they're spraying again. This is multiple times. So, I know you guys heard of him before. I'm gonna butcher his name up, but that's Stefan
Sokoviak.
Sokoviak.
Yeah.
So he's spraying whey on his, which is a milk byproduct from making cheese. I'm gonna try to skim the fat off of raw milk, and there will be some whey to it, but there might be some. I don't care if there's fat on it. I just don't want to plug my sprayer up. So it's sticky. The whey is. It will stick on your leaf compared to the pesticides we buy and go multiple times. Every time it rains, you have to respray. But you don't have to do that with this milk. He probably does it a few times a year, but
I know Billy talks about that from Permapasture, but he sprays organic whole milk
yeah.
on them.
Then he
And-
comes with water.
I think he might like 50 water.
Yeah. Well, if you
But
let your
he
cream
says
rise,
he does
then
it on a very, like, not a cloudy day, it has to be a sunny day, so it will evaporate off of it or whatever.
Stefan said he did it the night before it rained, supposed to rain. So I don't know. I think
And
it's like anything. Once it dries,
Yeah,
I think that's where Billy might have got some of his
Yeah.
info.
yeah, he watches, he follows him a lot, talks about how awesome he is.
Yeah, that guy's smart. So
Fruit trees are a challenge, they really are.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what was frustrating, I had two apple trees and they died. And, but a mile down the dirt road, there's an old abandoned farmhouse with an apple tree as big as the house. And that does fine every fall, you know?
Yeah,
if it's a big tree, it's probably not a grafted tree. I think grafted trees are great. Why are they grafted for? So the roots are not even big enough to support the tree,
Yeah.
and it won't let it grow anymore. So you got dwarf. A lot of those have to be staked because there's so little of a root,
Right.
and then you got semis. They're grafted also. That's a little bigger rootstock. So they self prune. If you prune a big tree, the roots will prune itself in the ground too at some point. So I've been leaning towards full size trees. I have a lot of semis,
Yeah,
but I'm going to try to, and I'm growing apple trees from seed
really.
that it's free.
that's what I wanna try to do.
I got hundreds of starts from a real nice orchard up the road that I really love all their apples, and I can even store ones you can do.
Right,
And I know this ain't an apple tree thing, but I think it kind of goes together. You need to cold stratify your seed, which a few months in the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Do you need to
Different.
soak them or anything first after you get them for? I
not too wet. I would put maybe a damp, real damp towel in there maybe. Some people use a little sand or,
Keep
so
it
I've just been
moist.
doing different stuff and
Yeah,
they all seem to work.
Yeah.
I had my best luck this year. The milk jug, we cut in half.
Mhm.
Don't stratify, just throw them in there. Well, actually put them in there because it'd be a mess.
Yeah.
I probably got 10 trees per milk jug right now. And kind of keep the lid on it. Not the lid, but you
Right.
can put these tape or something on it or whatever.
Make
The
like a
rain,
little
yeah, there'll be enough
greenhouse.
rain that goes in
Yeah.
it, it'll be alright. Plug, always have drain holes in all your pots. But they're this tall right now, and that was easy.
Wow.
I'll be doing a lot more of that. So, and will every tree be good? Nope. But some will be frying apples, some will be eating apples, some might be cider apples, some might not be nothing. But you could feed them your livestock or cut it down. That'd be the other thing. You could graft onto this. This tree is not what you want. Cut it, graft onto it. And it's a little more advanced, but
Yeah.
that's definitely, you got an established root system that you don't have to wait.
I've heard that Liberty apples are like the most resistant to stuff and hardiest and all of that stuff, that they just grow really well.
Yeah.
Do you have any others that you recommend?
I have Liberty, I have Freedom apple trees, and they're supposed to be kind of like the Liberty. I'm hoping, I'm just getting apples off the Liberty. My Freedom's my first year, and that's what I give Jason, so they'll get feedback on that.
How long does it take, you know, what year?
Yeah.
Let's say, 5-foot apple tree.
Yeah, so, well, my first year trees are, well, they're second year trees, they're 6 feet or something now.
Yeah.
But, I think a lot of them you buy are 2 years old, and then usually a couple more years, you might get a
Before you
few
see fruit.
apples.
Right.
Okay.
It's exciting when you get a few apples, right? I mean,
Yeah.
but
would
I
you
wouldn't
guess,
push it too much.
would you guess if you started from seed like you're doing, about
Longer.
7-10 years before you get fruit?
I doubt it. I think if you really started it where you wanted it at, and just cut the other one, I haven't did this yet, but you know how everything likes to be where it started.
Mhm.
Say you planted 10 of them with your milk jug, cut the bottom out, put the milk jug on top of it, put 3 or 4 of them in it, come back and cut the ones you don't want. That dude will catch, I think it'll bypass the other.
Just
the other
because
trees.
it didn't get transplanted.
I think that's just my opinion. That is
Yeah.
not proven yet,
No,
but
that makes sense.
that's one of the things I'm gonna try to do. I have a guild. I'm gonna do some videos on. I cut down a black locust grove, and I pollard all the trees about chainsaw height.
Yeah, black locusts are nitrogen fixers. Those
That's
are-
right.
Yeah.
So I'm putting a fence around it. I don't know what you call them, but I call them fruit tree clusters. So the cluster will be 20 feet circle. I'm gonna put a bunch of trees in it, bunch of bushes, the whole guild deal, but in a very small spot, in pastures.
Yeah.
But I have to fence in my own livestock. But it should get full sun because it's out in a pasture, but it's a small cluster. So we'll see what happens there. We'll put some videos out on that and see what happens. You guys want to go out and find some stuff, or
Sure.
let's do that. Start covering up in here. You think? I mean,
All right, so right now we've got Mike Sparks out here, and we're getting ready to plant a guild back here behind us in this area. We're going to start putting cardboard on this bare ground back here as a weed suppressant, and we're using mud puddles in Jason's driveway to soak the cardboard because it needs to be good and saturated before we put it down.
doing right now is all gonna be moved.
Yeah, we'll just move it here a bit. We'll do the trees first, and we'll put cardboard around the trees, and then we'll start cutting through it. Whatever that is.
Hey, Charlotte, will you take mine and Grant's picture?
We just put it straight in with no compost in it. It don't matter, but no compost.
And we got
Grant.
compost down there.
Thank you. We do it again.
I see both ways. I don't know.
Hit it harder. Okay.
That's one way to do it.
But you're fine, you where I'm losing though.
You know, I have gained daggone 15 pounds. I told the wife the other day, I said, Sergeant, I have to be on a diet. And he's 15 pounds overweight too. I'd like to get him down to 100 would be
Let's
nice.
do one more. Somebody grab another shovel and do another hole.
That's just too
Get
big.
them kind of roughed in.
I like to be sick around 200 where I used to be at.
Yeah.
Mike, there's another
Like I
short
said though, you're a big
bridge
dude though.
over there.
I'm happiest at like 185.
185, I look like I'm anorexic.
Yeah, I feel good at 185.
Is this the area you took the trees down in your video?
I think, yeah, so it looks like.
What's that, 225?
Yeah, that's what I'm at.
200 to 225, in that area, that's where I was.
I don't know if we're gonna be able to get through that, Jason. Something to cut.
I think I seen an axe laying down. I seen there's a sledgehammer and axe laying down there. Something.
There's a pic.
Really? What is that there?
Oh yeah, that roots.
Mowing.
Okay. Was it you?
I guess I'm lazy. I use it towards the sawzall, but
Or, smoke it. Yes, what's going on? You smoke it and you calm it off. Well, this is a bomb after. I will.
well, not with a shovel.
Really?
Go out, Jason.
You put it in a pipe.
Jason, where you need me to go to get the thing?
Walk down through the overhead door and
I like it.
I never could. I hate
Started in
I rather smoking.
cotton and then I heard a crack. So I'm not sure shovels are made.
I got one at the house.
Yeah, if I eat in the morning, I'm buzzed all day long. All day.
I got stuff.
Oh,
bad.
I got some.
That's all I did was get my question.
I didn't know what I was bought.
Do a. I think that'd be pretty good on this.
yeah.
No, I don't take a quarter. I take a half. When you take a quarter,
Make it all
you
boil.
have a hard time.
Yeah.
Whole one down actually.
My daughter worked at a farm out in Northern California. And said,
Yeah, I never dug with the bars. I moved to Southern Indiana.
about half a cookie. Well, you know, so it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. I had my coffee and a half a cookie.
I think they hit drunk yet, huh?
I like cookies and coffee
That's a good
together.
job with the
I'll eat the
steak.
whole coffee.
Let's move it over.
So that was like at 7, and about 10 o'clock.
That's just my 2 cents on that part. I think
Just, I don't know.
that would help it.
Garlic's growing this
You wonder why it
way.
never gets
The radishes.
growing good because it's pot bound.
My carrots didn't grow at all last fall, but then they took off over
Yeah,
the
you have
winter.
to. Yeah, right,
So
yeah.
the chickens were in there.
So these are bare root, so
So then I dug up the
it's
garden.
getting kind of late in the year for bare root, but here
Mike,
we are.
you want some compost?
Yeah, we can put some on top of it when we get there.
Now you wouldn't make it any deeper than that, there, brother?
Only if we was gonna add a bunch of hard ground and had a bunch of clay, and
Okay.
I mean you can, but I don't.
Right.
This is the height we're gonna run. It looks a little bit high right there, but you'll see it's not gonna be
Mountain
high
up
when we get
some.
all this compost he's gonna bring over, and when he wood chips, it's gonna
Right.
start working this too deep, you know. So we're gonna do something like that, and got that big leader root. So I'm gonna go ahead and run it into this wall. And this one here acts like it wants to go that way. So we're gonna do it like this. See what we have here. This is a pear tree. It's good if you can crumble up.
Right.
And the biggest thing is kind of keeping like air pockets out of it, because you have a lot of air pockets.
Yep.
It's not really as much as it being any other reason for me, is just because of the air pocket type. So I'm gonna do this one tree, and you guys are gonna do the rest of them.
Cool.
We'll do a little discuss what we need to do to the guilds and stuff. We'll do the trees first, then we'll come and do the supporting plants. Little tip is, it's nice, especially if you got grass. If you have cardboard already, throw your dirt on the cardboard. I know it don't sound like much, but you're trying to dig through your, you know how it gets. Everybody's crossed that bridge. I guess everybody sees where the graft was, right? I don't know how much everybody knows about this stuff, but this is the rootstock, and then they grafted it onto it. After it got growing, they just went ahead and snipped it off. That's probably how they did it.
You want the grass? Stop by and get you know roadway, huh?
Well,
I'm with Chuck, so.
yeah,
Well,
this
yeah,
has
you
to be
can throw
mowed.
his stand up.
You'll see where it looks
That could be power if you started.
like where it was growing in a nursery type thing. Anywhere from probably here to
I got about 2 more loads.
somewhere in this range.
But you don't want your
Oh,
mulch.
you put Chuck's made up.
No, they're actually doing like donuts, as in we'll have bring in some compost and kind of come down a little bit.
You chair?
A lot of people do a lot more than I do, but they might just be better at it. Me, I don't know, but I kind of.
See, that's what I do. I seem to overcompensate just because I want a successful experiment, and when it fails, it's frustrating.
Oh, it's bad, yeah. I mean, watering this dude's gonna be a big deal, right? He had a drought here. I don't know how far you guys are away, but pretty droughty here last year, right? I mean,
Yeah, but 2 months of no rain.
I had to haul water in for the house.
But see, we had that spring. I just need to tap it so I could. So we use all our rainwater catchment. That's 3,000 gallons there,
You got a spring at your house?
and then we have a spring.
You come by, look at my spring house I set up so
I've
you can learn
seen-
from it.
Oh, I've seen your spring house at one time, and then where the spring house would be, it's about 200 feet away from the house,
Okay.
and it's down a 50-foot grade. So I need to go ahead and I'm going to tap it with the dam, the spring box, and then pipe it up right below the house, and then just use a solar
we're a little bit,
to
a little
pump
bit
the water
high.
up to the house.
but we're,
And even
It will
that,
be by the time we get
dry
down here.
spell we had last year, July and August with no rain, that spring was still putting out almost
we're
a
gonna
half
put
a
a-
gallon a minute.
pretty much broke down wood chips around here. That's
We
compost.
thought about a ram pump and stuff, but I'm
They
not.
say not to get everything right up
You have
against
to get
it,
that,
but
the
with this, I think
momentum
we can
down, so we'd
get a
have
little
to
bit
go downhill
so we can
and back
get up to
up
our right height.
to push that
We're a
rain.
little bit,
Yeah? Yeah,
we're a little bit sticking out of the ground a little bit.
40 foot down.
You just want to make sure you don't bury that graft union, right?
Yeah, you can actually see where it's growed at in the
Yeah.
nursery.
Yeah.
You think
So
the
we're gonna
ram
be in this
pump would-
range.
Well, I guess
We're just
it
gonna do a
would.
Yeah,
light
you know,
around it, and
yeah.
then we're gonna maybe hump it up out here a little bit.
Me, I took the bullet, I ran it.
Yeah, like that, then we can kinda hump it.
Wire.
Mhm.
All of that to the
Looking
right.
good, Jake.
That way I could Easter, I could
Jake knows what to do.
another barrage off of the other.
Right.
So I could take 100 amps. That's a lot of it. I saw one cow, and then one cow takes the wiring and it.
We don't have to get too, let's don't get too high. We'll put our cardboard on it, and then we'll put our chips, we'll put some back here. And then we'll, got some worms in there.
Yep.
That's a good indicator.
Yep. The soil's alive, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's what you're looking for, worms.
See, that's what we were digging in our compost pile from the goat shed, and we dug down probably about 6-7 inches type thing. It was just covered in worms.
That's
It
awesome.
was just a real happy, it was a happy moment.
So we're gonna lay cardboard down. We're not gonna get real wide yet because we'll probably put a few plants in here and then
I thought
So that's good about wetting your cardboard, that we can dig through it when you put your other plants in. But we can just do a few like that, and we can put our supported plants in. You can put your cardboard down now, or you can put it down. It's really up to the individual.
Well, that's the point I'm at in my area that I've picked out is where, one, I need to clear out some more, make it a little bit bigger, but like you said, start small and move out. And I have more that I look like they're gone southeast Los Angeles with all the cardboard boxes I have all around. It looks like, a homeless
Rough
town.
looking place.
And so, I'm poor white trash right now, but I want to go ahead and put my trees in the cardboard, but then I need to go ahead and get wood chips.
Yeah.
That's my next
All of
endeavor.
those things are gonna build your soil.
Yeah.
Bring in some of that stuff where your goats were at and use that too. And
Yeah.
Like a truck to my house, I love wood chips.
Logs,
Yeah, that's what
do that
I heard. I
also.
saw that on that one.
Yeah.
That's where you got yours.
That's
You
right.
got 3 loads so far.
And that's kind of
One
what
load,
that's doing.
one load,
It's not as good as it might be, but it's not quite where the rock log is with the fungi.
Yeah.
Nobody was coming to get them. I just
I'm
spread them.
seeing
What else
mushrooms.
can you do?
Yeah, fungus
Like, I
growing,
hate
that's
to
what you
give them
want.
benefit of it all.
I mean, not
Nice
just there,
to
but I mean,
So
around some of
I
this other,
certainly might
somewhere
do
up there,
that
I've seen them
there.
growing, so it's a
There's
good
2 loads
environment.
left.
So let's plant these other trees, then we'll work on this guild a little bit. Got an apple in there.
Like this or what?
They wanna go that way.
Oh. You anti-inflammatory?
Yeah, we can bring a little, kind of sit there and look at it and kind of break up the ground. Make it kind of soft.
I know that.
Now my thought is, tell me if I'm out loud. I need to do something.
There's a lot to that. There's prevailing winds.
Right, where's the wind coming from? I didn't think of that.
So there's a lot. There's moisture here, but there's probably no wind. I don't know.
Yeah, which way the winds go all the time.
He's protected. I don't know. That probably ain't gonna make too huge difference, but I think it would if he was in a bean field, wintertime.
Exactly.
Prevailing wind,
We
that
have-
would make a difference.
We have bean cornfields right across from us here, just 100 acres. So it's breezy at our house, and it's always coming from the west.
Yeah. So then you would run your roots going, for leverage, towards the wind, I guess. That way you can. Some people say stake it.
Yeah.
Some people say don't. I say don't.
I think we had the stake. I got 2, what do you call it, weeping willow. But the wind was so strong, I had to stake those.
Yes.
Hey, Mike,
Yeah.
I better have you look at this. This is what I thought. Does it look good?
Yeah, because especially bring that mulch in.
Crab apples, what are those good for?
Well, the kids, it is a little bit frequent, it's only for the birds. Having any, the birds will help if it's soil.
Yeah.
Especially our wind, right? We was a big one storm we got, 2 months ago?
Yeah.
Look, everyone laid them all down on the ground.
Yeah.
Everyone's way over there.
That's the thing too. If somebody wanted a decent
5
guild,
years there,
like in the winter time,
They're down,
early winter is when would be the time to
Crab apples will also pollinate.
get with me.
So I can break the big chunk.
Yeah.
They're beautiful
And they're
trees.
pretty too when the spring is pretty.
I got this for birthday.
Even like a group, you know what I mean? Like, hey, we want
Hearts out with themselves.
so many.
Then you take a
Because
lot
like
of
me,
sugar,
if I don't have
everything
enough
good.
stuff growing,
Yeah,
which
they're
on
always,
fruit trees
as
I
a
don't.
kid, don't we always try and eat
But-
one?
If I order like a minimum of
Just
100,
one.
Yeah.
I
Take a
can
little
get
bite of a crab
it's a
apple.
decent price for everybody. You know.
Learn your lesson there.
But yeah, I like to feed the wildlife as well as
That's
us.
all I do right now with that cherry feeder all year
Yeah,
long.
yeah.
That's like $40 every 2 weeks.
The birds we did set.
Yeah.
And the birds will shit on the ground to help fertilize and so yeah, it's pretty decent for that. And then these turn purple, dark purple, it's gorgeous. We got that
It'd be more
Would it be
late, more spring, to tell you the truth, at this point.
So like
Well,
more
it depends what-
December or January?
Everything's got its purpose.
At least January.
At least it needs that.
we
When
can
do you
go.
order them?
My guineas are down there at the deer feeder more than the deer are.
Is that when
I
you order them?
probably start ordering them then.
For elm tree yet.
But if we can get a group and it ain't nothing but a shipping and whatever, we can
Well, I mean, we
make that
could
work.
drive up there one Saturday or whatever. Are you in southern Indiana?
What's that?
I'm in Indiana, Mud Line, Kentucky line.
Okay, so all around Cincinnati.
Yes.
Okay.
Mike talked about coming over to my place, we could meet over there too.
Yeah? You don't meet at your place?
Family too.
I don't know if I gotta order different things. I got like a bunch of ball balls, you know, I'm trying to play it and stuff. That could be in any time in the dormancy.
Bite the boy for 3
But
years.
if I gotta rely on somebody else, it's relying on
3
some
to 5
other,
years, he's sprayed.
you know, another.
Still look good though. Still be running good, you still act good. I act harder than you do.
Can we bring in some more of that mulch in again, and that'd look pretty good.
No matter how old you are.
We'll dump this out first.
So, you put the cardboard over there on top of the mulch, does it matter? 'Cause I thought.
But yeah,
I'm gonna.
It's going on top. That's more of a composty thing. Then we're gonna put wood chips on top of that.
science fiction, probably take
No, that's right.
I get
You don't have to put
I
that
learned
down.
the netting part recently. You see those yet?
Yeah,
You don't have to do
Good
anything. You
netting
just
part,
stick a
get
hole
out.
in.
Watch the video
well,
on it.
that's what I've been
Wow.
doing. Just dig a hole, put
Took a that's like the spots on the small line.
It just seems better with
They probably say
fertilizer on the top.
it's humid. It ain't hot, it's humid.
All right, so now we've got 3 trees planted. You can see behind me here. And we're putting cardboard down and just making like a whole big area here that we're going to put compost in and mulch and companion plants. But right now we have each one of the trees are planted, and then there's a ring of compost that is around underneath the cardboard, and that's going to help. Actually, Jason's compost was full of worms, so the worms are what we want coming up in this, and they're the ones that are going to break down the cardboard and turn it into soil. Pretty cool. These are some of the plants that we've got to go. There's some comfrey plants. Those are, I believe, huckleberries. He's got some ground cover raspberries over there, and I'm not sure what this is. I don't know. But he said he's also got buckwheat and what else? Cowpea. He brought buckwheat and cowpea to put in it as well. Chickens are really loving the bougie chicken coop. Look at all the silkies. They're so cute. I got the guard duck going here. All right, right now Jason is out there getting wood chips out of his wood chip pile to put on top of the cardboard behind me. And see that smoking? That stuff is decomposing. But those are fresh wood chips actually. So he's bringing those in. He's going to dump them over here. They're spreading them out around the trees. I was wrong earlier. He brought cowpea and crimson clover. So after everything is planted, everything is done, then he's going to come in and just sow on the cover of everything the cowpea and the crimson clover. It's a little bit late in the season, but it'll probably still come up, and if Jason leaves it, then it will just keep coming back. We do that because those two things put nitrogen in the ground, and then also they're a great suppressant for grass, you know, to just use as a cover crop. when you're doing this, when you're planting a guild, one of the things to remember, he talked about this a little bit in the class, you got a tree that's a little bitty tree right now, but it's going to grow up into something bigger. So you're going to have to figure out where that drip line is going to be when the rain falls off that tree. And you want it to be watering the thing that it's falling into. And if you're planting blueberries, which he brought some blueberry plants too, if you're planting blueberries around it, then those have got to have a little bit of room as well. You also need to remember that if there's anything that you're planting that needs something to pollinate it, you may have to have more than one of that plant to put into the food forest. The whole area is looking good. Check that out. Alright, so we have an apple tree over here, and all of these little flags are different plants that he's got out here, so Jason knows that there's stuff planted here. So those are ground cover raspberries. Over here we've got a huckleberry. Right here, that is yarrow.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, they're taking the land from us and they're paying.
Let's see, here is the pear tree, and we've got, I wasn't sure what this was. This is actually Jerusalem artichokes, which we are doing at home. We've got a bunch of those growing at home, if you've seen any of my updated videos on Terrell Cross Homestead. And then down here we've got another apple tree, and all of the little plants going around it. And we're going in and planting garlic. We're putting garlic in there and adding garlic down in the food forest. This is part of what we did last fall.
I can't spot anymore.
Really? Let's see it. That's cool, because this is a new tree, right?
That was,
Look at that pear.
Me and that's why I'm doing the apples.
Awesome. Here's another one. There's another one growing right there.
right.
If I get any credibility, he'll talk to me back.
Yay.
I think.
Oh, he probably will.
It
I
does
don't know
look
his
like-
name. I've never caught his name.
I never call his name either. He's getting older though. I mean, he wants to
I thought there was.
get this going.
Yeah.
You know, love you too. I want to spray this down again. Cool it down.
Well, I just walked through a freaking spider web. About to lose my mind. Yeah, look at all the mushrooms growing. Every level of a food forest going over here.
There's
There's a couple little apples started.
Oh, look. Little bitty apples. Apple babies. I'm not even looking at it. There we go. Right there. Apple baby. And you've got some up there too. You know what these orange spots are from?
The cedar trees.
Yep. That's
But there
rust
ain't
from the
nothing-
cedar trees.
There ain't nothing you can do. There's too many cedar trees around here.
Yeah, Kentucky is overridden with cedar trees. There's some blueberries.